So, I woke up this morning and I was led to make this video because I know there's someone out there who is considering going to someone in a white lab coat and getting a bag of candy. Okay, let's call it that. This candy that is doled out for depression, for anxiety, for normal responses to an abnormal society. A lot of these candies have horrifying side effects. And you need to know the real inherent danger, because you will be lied to, either through omission or outright lies. Okay? A lot of people suffer from ANHEDONIA and AKATHESIA as a result of these candies. If you're thinking about getting some of this stuff, you need to be aware. Look it up. Type these words in the search bar on YouTube and see what you get. AKATHESIA, AKATHESIA. ANHEDONIA, ANHEDONIA. Akathisia is when you lose control of your body movements and you cannot stop moving your body. Okay, it feels as if you've been overtaken by some sort of entity. You're a passenger in your own body. It's hellish. It's a nightmare, and people are deleting themselves every day as a result of these side effects, and a lot of people are being institutionalized and they're losing their freedom and their rights. Because these establishments, these institutions, let me tell you, they're prisons. Okay? And they're worse than prisons, because on top of losing your freedom, your rights to move about in the world or make decisions for yourself, even down to when you go to the bathroom or what you eat. On top of that, you are fed these candies forcibly against your will, and you are surrounded by hundreds of other inmates who are also being forcibly fed candies that cause them to act erratically, irrationally, cause them to lose their ever-loving minds in a place that is meant to do the opposite, that is meant to heal. Okay, I was led to make this video because I had 450 videos stolen, a lot of which discussed this topic. I feel I have an obligation to put this information out into the world, not because I feel sorry for myself, not because I want anyone to say, oh, poor you, I'm sorry that happened, but because it's being covered up. And because of that, more and more people are having to experience what it is that I did. And so I have a responsibility to let people know what's going on so they don't walk down the same road that I did. Okay? So akathisia, you can't stop moving your body. Anhedonia, you lose all ability to feel any sort of positive emotion whatsoever. You get no chemical feedback or reward. And that's how we make decisions as humans. Something feels good, you do it again. If nothing feels like anything, you'll become a zombie. There's no reason to do anything. That's just how the system works. That's how the human being works. You fall in love, you experience oxytocin. You know, you go for a run, you get some endorphin. The things that are good for our health, we get rewarded for, so that we will continue to do those things. Likewise, depression and anxiety are signals that we shouldn't be doing these things because they're not conducive to our health and wellness. Do you see where I'm going with this? We're depressed and we're anxious because the world we're living in is not conducive to our health and wellness. That's why we're feeling this way. And rather than fix the conditions of our society, which is what we ought to be doing, we're treating the symptoms. We're changing us to fit the system rather than the system to fit us. There's a problem with that, and it's not you. Okay? There's not something wrong with you inherently, with your nervous system, with your brain. Just know that, hello? Some guy's looking at me. Just know that it is a possibility, and it's not a 1 in 7 million or whatever crazy number they're going to tell you. Okay? That you could develop these side effects as a result of these candies. And what might happen is that your side effects are so extreme that nobody in your life knows what to do with you. They get freaked out and they throw you in one of these institutions, which is a prison. And you can get stuck there for weeks, for months, for years, forever. There are people who never get out of these places. Okay. I've seen people pull down their pants in the middle of a hallway and take a shit on the floor because they don't even know where the bathroom is. They think they're in the bathroom. I've seen women lay on the floor spinning in circles saying, get me off the ceiling, get me off the ceiling, because they literally didn't know up from down. This is what these candies do to people. Okay. People walking in circles day and night. That was me. I developed insomnia. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks, and you may say that's not even humanly possible. Well, okay, technically maybe I dozed off like this and then I woke right back up. That's what I mean by not sleeping for 2 weeks. Guess what happens when you don't sleep for 2 weeks? You go psychotic. And then guess what happens when a person in a lab coat sees that? Oh, they have a candy for that too. So they start treating the side effects of their candies with other candies. No matter how much you insist that, hey, this is not me, I'm not psychotic, it's because of this candy you gave me. Maybe you should stop giving me the candy and let me come off of it. Well, no, they have a customer now. They have you hooked. I started out with depression, and I should have been depressed because my life circumstances were depressing. What I needed was community. What I needed was people to hold me in, to talk to me, and to make time for me. And nobody had time for me because everybody was out chasing dangling carrots and shiny baubles and money. And a lot of people find themselves in that situation. Make time for people that you care about. People need people. They don't need candy. Okay? And fuck money. Money's not the answer to our mental health. Love is. So, I started out with depression, and I ended up with anhedonia, akathisia, insomnia. I had my freedoms taken away. I ended up in 4 of these institutions in 3 different states over the course of 6 months because I was running from other human beings and these people in white lab coats who would not listen to me, who were claiming that I was crazy, that I was a lunatic, that I was psychotic, not listening to me, that it was their candy. People lose their lives to this stuff. Look it up. What you will find is horrific. And the fact that this is not being openly and widely talked about tells you everything you need to know. It's on purpose. People know, they know what's going on, and they have no reason, they have every incentive to keep it going. It's a racket. And when I speak about it, I get shut down and told that I'm spreading misinformation. And when CEOs of social media refuse to censor their platforms, they get thrown in jail on trumped up charges because they're allowing people like me to speak openly about the important things that we should all be talking about, like how our freedoms are being eroded, like how we're being poisoned, like how we're being dosed with candy to keep us all in line. I was tied down, literally. I was held down by 5 grown people. I still have a shoulder injury from being manhandled. I had needles shoved in my ass. I experienced a seizure in front of a group of nurses and they laughed at me. I was told I was ugly when I cry. I ended up overdosing on a bunch of candy because of all the extreme side effects that I was experiencing, and I couldn't get away, and I just wanted it all to stop, and I was not in my right mind. And as a result of that, I ended up with brain damage and had to go live in the woods and hide away from people and come off of 5 different candies that I had been forced upon and hooked on against my will. I lost every person in my life that I had known for 20 plus years because when it came right down to it and I was in crisis, they threw me to the wolves because they were out busy making money and they didn't have time for my shenanigans, which was a person who was sick because of candy that many of these people had encouraged me and insisted that encouraged me to get on and insisted that I get on, because that's the answer in this culture. Please don't find yourself in the position that I was in. I'm lucky to be here today. I'm here because God saved me. And I gave my life up to God. I told God if He gave me my brain back, my life back, my senses back, that I would live for Him, for her, for life. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm making this video. Please don't walk down the road that I went down. Exercise, eat right, get yourself around people you can trust and that really care about you and aren't just trying to sell you something. Because that's what we've all been reduced to as producers and customers, and we don't even know what real friends are anymore in this culture. You got people with 5,000 friends on Facebook. Those people aren't their friends. They're potential customers. Okay? We got to stop looking at each other as in like, what can I get from you? You surround yourself with people like that the minute you really have a problem and you need somebody. They ain't got time for you because they were never your friend in the first place. They were somebody looking to sell you something. So first off, figure out who your real friends are. And if you ain't got any, we'll go out into the woods and get right there. Because God's got you. But the answer is not candy. The answer is fresh air, sunshine, good food, exercise, God. AKATHESIA, ANHEDONIA. Please look it up before you go and get on some candy, because you're not the problem. The system is the problem.